there was already up on the restart. Well, for the start of the Grand Prix, so we do apologise about that. But the lobby's all set up now, and we are back, and we are live. And I cannot wait to get this now underway. I'm out of breath because I literally just ran to the toilet after getting that lobby restart going. So that's all good. But we are back and we are here. Gibby has just gone to go get himself a nice drink, which I understand because I've got mine here and you definitely need it on commentary. Trust me on that one. But I'm really interested to see, I think, the predictions I'm going to pick here today for the three in the podium positions, as Gibby has now returned. Hello, Gibby.
Hello.
Hello. Just talking about our predictions for today, Gibby. Would you like to go first? Because I was just about to start it, but I'll let you go first because I think we were about to talk about it, and you picked NRT Ireland. And do you still want to go with that prediction for first?
Yeah, I think Ireland's going to smash it. I think he's going to win. I'm going to go with Chris. Decisions. I think I'm going to go with Ramos for P2. He had a really good race last time out of Canada and avoided penalties, so I think he's going to go well again today. And I'll go with Christoph to keep P3. Got to support my boys in McLaren, so why not?
Okay, very interesting. I think I'm going to go Christoph first. He looked quite strong in qualifying. I think I think he wasn't able just to wrap up that last lap, to get it in. Second, I will go Ireland because Ireland has been very competitive this season, especially the duel to the line that we saw 2 weeks ago in Baku between him and Skeefy was quite insane. As we saw, me and you. That was the last time me and you were on commentary, wasn't it, Gibby? That was the last time it was. Am I correct?
I think it was.
The final.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was you and.
Was it me and Will?
I think it was you and Will.
I'm old. Leave me alone. Right?
Forget these things.
Things are setting in, Gibby, that I don't really like, and it's not good. So I'm gonna go Christoph Ireland. Do I go for a big wild card? Today? You know what? No, I'm going to go Christoph Ireland, Eke Blowbet, and we'll do a driver of the day. Who is your driver of the day going to be, do you reckon? Who is your prediction?
Predicting driver of the day already.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Let's have a look.
I mean, if any of these come in, people need to start asking us for the lottery numbers.
True. I think one to go for. I think quite an easy one would be Storm. Storm can come through, and the other thing with Storm is he's also on the hard tyres outside the top 10.
Ooh,
yeah, so he's gone for a very different strategy. So I'm going to go with Storm for driver of the day. I reckon he's going to make up quite a few positions in this race. As long as he can keep himself out of trouble, I think that's the main thing for Storm, is just keeping clear. You now see people readying up, and we're going on to the formation lap.
I think for me, it's either going to be Raz or Nikki that could get driver of the day. But we shall see. But we're here for the formation lap now, and it's going to be very, very close to lights out here. Predictions are in, the drivers are ready, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in Division 2. And I'm really looking forward to this. I cannot wait to finally get this underway. Eke Globe on pole from NRC Ireland on pole. Eke Globe in second on the front row. Christoph third, D6W fourth, Ramos fifth, Arndt sixth, Steffi in seventh, Breezy in eighth, and Matrice in ninth, and Darko in 10th. As Storm gets disqualified and gets put onto the grid, and he's going to be starting on cold tyres there.
Yeah, that's worrying for Storm being on the hard tyres as well, because you really want to work those on that formation lap and get them up to temperature. But at the same time, he's already on the back row of the grid, so in that respect, he's sort of lucky in the sense that he can just sort of chill out into turn one, get his tyres back up to temp, and then sort of settle into the race rather than just going hell for leather off the start.
I've just been told that I'm very quiet on stream for some reason. Let me just Mr. Crowden Door, a message that I didn't read during qualifying. has said I'm really quiet. Hopefully it sorts itself out, but the little bar that I've got that shows my audio says I'm not, so I sound good. Okay, nice one, Keneal, thank you for that. Right, like normal. Right, perfect. Sounds. No worries. Okay, maybe he just doesn't have his volume turned up. Come on, Groudon, come on.
Yeah, so Storm just saying in the chat, my car did not want to move, so maybe a bit of an issue at Haas, maybe an electrical fault.
I had that glitch. I remember being in a 5-lap lobby with Bruno Will right at the start of when F1 2020 came out. Like, he didn't even know I was in the lobby. I just joined a random lobby and he was in it, and it was Australia. And I went to start and the car just didn't move, and all you saw was this Haas come flying and smack the back end of my car and go flying. I was like, oh no, he's going to think I'm an idiot. Oh no. It wasn't the best of starts. Let's just say that to the 2020 season there.
Yeah.
But we are lining up now, the back markers, not the back markers, that's an insult, sorry boys. The people at the back of the grid are now lining up, and we have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, but we know it's not going to happen because it's called Masters. Even every update they still can't fix. Just the little things like this give you to starters when they're meant to start. As they are revving up. And it's lights out and away you go. Island gets a really good start. Christoph is already alongside the Alfa Romeo. And now the AlphaTauri is going to look to see if he can cover and get that move done going into the corner. They're going into turn 1 now. The McLaren of NRC Arns is trying to make a move there. Further back, we're looking at the battle here for Matrice and ABR Raz on disqualified from session. Storm couldn't move.
Yeah, his car just not moving, so I think that's just a glitch with Codemasters, which is, to be honest, just dreadful. Anyway, back to the action.
That's a huge shame there for Storm. There's your drive that they contention out of the window. Looking further back now, Steffi is really close to the back of NRC Ours, and I'm looking further back to a T-Bag, and Nicki Minaj there going side by side here into turn 8. I think it is a T-Bag trying to take the inside line. Nicki's holding around the outside line. Nicki Minaj defending that very nicely indeed, and now he's going to be under pressure from Raz. Is T-Bag. Raz is trying to make a move here. He switches for the outside line and getting the slipstream, but isn't able to make a move here, going through the fast right-hander. But apparently, in the new update giving, there is a clutch glitch where it doesn't release the clutch. So that's fun.
You know what? It's honestly a joke at this point. Like, how does that even happen?
I don't know. It wasn't in the game beforehand.
Exactly, and how is that not even tested before they bring an update out? To be quite honest, that is just poor.
Like,
on so many levels, that is dreadful.
I feel so sorry for Storm. Storm, you know, he was looking to try and get us. I'm just looking here at Breezy and Steffi. Breezy is really on the back here of Steffi in the racing point heading towards turn 1, but he backs out and doesn't go for a lunge. Island has already got a 1 second gap to Christoph on the second lap, so he's already out of that DRS range. Just flicking in between. Oh, there goes 2 temps actually. He's just gained 2 temps in one of those corners. That's really going to help his positions right now. Just looking further down the order, everyone's still very close together. There is a gap between 11th and 10th, but I'm also on board here with Darko Wade and Breezy. Darko Wade is in the slipstream. We've overtaken A, but he's looking to try and get Breezy down the inside, and there's a racing point of Steffi trying to make a move on the McLaren of Arns, and they are making a move, and Darko Wade and Breezy are making contact by banging side pods there in turn 9, and Breezy and Steffi both get their man and move up a position. Is Darko going to try and come back at him? Is Darko trying to come back to the right? And there he is! Ooh, that was a decision that had to be made there from Darko, whether to send it there or not, and I think he made the correct decision there and not going for that move.
Yeah, it's difficult looking for moves around here. Ideally, you just want to get down the straight. Oh, as Darko gets on the curb there and loses the rear end a little bit. So definitely putting himself under a lot of pressure as Matrice now pushing him from behind. But he's just looking for the moves on the straight and not losing too much time through these twisty sections, because you can so easily lose yourself from the actual train itself if you run side by side and battle too hard when you're not in the DRS train.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just looking now. Matrice was gaining there on Darko Wade. That's actually would have been very much in handy form. DRS has now been enabled, and it'll be interesting to see if anyone's going to be able to really capitalise with DRS. I mean, you're going to have to use a lot of overtake because there is going to be a DRS train, but the person I'm going to be looking at here is D6W and Christoph here, because this, a 2-second gap to NRC Island, and Christoph is already under pressure and the move's already been made by D6W. Could he lose more positions here? Eke Baloba looking to try and make a move here, and he doesn't. Bit too far back there for Eke Baloba. I'm just looking further back there. Nicki Minaj and T-Bag. T-Bag goes down the inside of Nicki Minaj and gets that job done, but Nicki Minaj gets a really good exit. That was a fantastic exit there from Nicki. I think T-Bag just couldn't get the power down, and Nicki sails back past him.
Yeah, good stuff there from Nicki, keeping a calm head and just waiting to pounce back on that opportunity there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what D6W and Christoph do at this point in the race. Do they want to battle it out now and maybe lose more time to Island, or are they going to maybe try and work together to catch back up to Island? I'm not too sure. I think I personally would probably just battle it out, because I think Island's just checked out this race. 3 laps in, he's already got a 2-second gap.
Eke Baloba nearly losing it there on the last corner as he tries to get as close as he could there to Christoph. Island very comfortably in the lead right now, 4 laps in. He's got a 2.3 second gap to D6W. He is still in sight, but that gap is growing, and there's already 2 3-second time penalties there. I think one was for Darko Wade and one was for Steffi there, so people are already struggling with track limits here in the opening stages of this race.
Yeah, it is a difficult track because it's very flat, and the way to get time is to attack the curbs as much as possible, which obviously leaves you at risk of getting these warnings. But now we see Eke Baloba getting a very good exit off the corner. He's now on the back of Christoph. Will he be able to send a move here? He looks to the outside. It's very long, but he's just losing it.
Oh, he's got the inside, he's got the dive! Oh, and he's made contact!
Oh,
that was a dive there from Eke Baloba, and he has paid the price there in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, and he comes back on the track, and there goes T-Bag, has to slam on as he comes back onto the track, and now Nicki Minaj is going to be under pressure from Raz, and Raz is going to make the move now, going down the inside, as T-Bag is also making the move of Eke Baloba. All 4 of these in a cluster together as they go through the right-hander, and there goes Raz and Eke Baloba into the barriers there, and that is a big shame for both of them, both with wing damage, and that could have put them both out of the race there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that neither of them retired there from that crash. It was quite a high-speed one, so lucky there not to end their race.
It really was wing damage for both of them there. We couldn't see what just happened because the leaderboard was in the way, but we did see them both spin and fly off as Matrice is putting Darko Wade under some pressure, and they're putting the Mercedes under some pressure of Breezy, and I think Darko Wade just stays ahead on this occasion. I'm also looking at how close Ramos is to Steffi for the battle of 4th here, and it's going to be very interesting how this develops, because we've already seen some overtaking manoeuvres and overtaking attempts, and we've also seen a lot of wheel banging so far, so this race could go either way, but there's a 4-second gap now between Island and D6W in second.
Yeah, Island just he's just in a race of his own, I think, at this point.
Here comes Ramos down the inside.
Pace.
Ooh, and he doesn't get there. Steffi hangs it around the outside there. Wasn't able to make a move. I'm just looking at Nicki Minaj and T-Bag. These two have been together since the start, really battling with each other and not letting their gaps grow as much as either one of them would want to when they get ahead. So that's not good for either one of them, but it makes it some entertaining racing for us, doesn't it, Gibby?
Yeah, and these two we're going to keep an eye out for, as being both of them are the lead medium runners, so if they battle too much, they're going to lose any advantage of having this easy one-stop that they have at the moment, because realistically at this point in the race, these soft tyres probably should be going off maybe the next couple of laps, and these guys should be able to start gaining on the soft runners if they're battling too much.
People are pissing. Christoph and Steffi are the first people to come in. Darko Wade comes in. Matrice comes into the pits. So the first front runners have had enough of these softs, and they already want to come off them and put the medium compound tyres on. But the one person who didn't pit was Island from the lead.
Yeah, I was going to say, going very aggressive with the strategy then for that very early medium pit stop as well. So I reckon they'll quite easily be able to do medium to the end, yeah, which is pretty much the optimum strategy at this point. The guys that are staying out on the mediums have got to be hoping that a safety car doesn't come out, or they at least get a safety car when they need to switch tyres at this point. Because these guys will probably be coming straight back through the field with the fresh tyres.
Also, one thing that got me a little bit worried, Gibby, was that when I ran to the toilet and you wanted to go get a drink, was that I accidentally left it on dynamic instead of changing the when it's clear. But here comes Skeefy. Skeefy's going down the inside of Stickman, and Skeefy has got that move done. You should have heard the panic in my voice when I realised it while I'm there on the toilet, and I go, oh, swear words, and leg it downstairs, and the lobby already started. Like, oh no, please don't rain, please don't rain, and it was fine. And I'm hoping at the end of the race it doesn't rain now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fairly clear to me. It's a little bit cloudy, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any rain in the meantime. I'm sure someone would have already shouted at us.
Yeah.
During the strategy pick if it wasn't.
We would have been told off. So. We would have been sacked, and that would have been us off to the gulag, Gibby. That's what would have happened. The ERN gulag. It does exist. I have seen it myself. It does exist. Banishments here today for the commentary team.
So Breezy now into the pits, switching onto their mediums. They went 1 lap extra than the other people there as D6W picks up a 3-second time penalty. Lovely. One of many that we're going to see during this race.
That's a really good exit there by our Christoph. Is already alongside Raz now. He has DRS on Raz too, and overtake the side by side. Not much of a gap is being made, and there goes Christoph into 10th place there into the first corner. So that's really good for him. He didn't have the best of starts. He was P3. Am I correct in saying? He was P3 or P2?
Yeah, he was starting P3 behind Eke, so he's had a decent start. I think he's running in a net P2 at the moment, obviously with the pit stop that he's done. So he needs to make these medium tyres work now for him. He needs to try and get the pace as much as possible, and he's cleared Raz very quickly, and he's already built that gap to over a second. So he's got some very good pace. Yeah, as Steffi gets past Raz fairly comfortably down that straight. But Christoph's got to be pushing quite a lot now to maybe try and close that gap to Island. I think it was around about 5 seconds at the pit stop. And if Island's going to take his soft tyres long and maybe attempt doing a 1-stop,
as Island comes in.
As I say that, he comes in. So, yeah, he's going, I reckon, for a 2-stop if he's coming in this early.
DCW joins him, Ramos joins him too, and so does Arndt. And Arndt's nearly going straight into the back there of Ramos, I think it was. But we have Teabag and Nicky, these two still close together. These will probably take the lead of this race now, as Nicky is really close to Teabag. DRS enabled. Teabag covers the inside line. Nicky's going to try and take it around the outside line into turn 1 here. Nicky sends there, big contact. Teabag has to cut the chicane in that first corner, and that takes P1 for Nicky, but we've yet to stop. I got muddled on my words there. I don't like it when I do that.
Yeah.
Christoph, though, that 6-second gap has closed now to around 3.6. So the undercut has closed the gap, but that's if he can stay within that.
Yes, the undercut worked very well for him there. What he's going to be hoping now is that Island gets stuck a little bit behind Stickman so that he can get onto the back of Island and sort of just hang in there. But it looks like Island's just making moves instantly as he gets straight back past Stickman. That is not what Christoph needed.
I'm just on board with this little cluster that we have here with behind Raz. They were all over the place in Sector 1, all trying to find some space. And I think there's a move here being made by the trees. Oh, as he gets cut, and he has to cut the line. And Teabag and Nicki Minaj, them two are still fighting for the lead of this race. And they're really trying to battle it out here.
Yeah, and what's kind of good for Nicky and Teabag at the moment is, I believe, if they're going to do the 1-stop, they'll be going onto the hard tyres around about lap 12.
Doc, wait! Sending it on Raz there in that right-hander. And Matrice and Breezy also battling in the same corner. All of them nearly coming into contact with each other. There's a big, big scrap there further down the field. Sorry to interrupt there, Gibby.
Yeah, just saw Boots in the chat say the hards at the end of the race will be around 70%. True, but I don't think anyone's opted for the hard tyres in this race. No one's opted for that 1-stop from the soft tyres. They've all gone for the medium, so they're all hoping to get a 2-stop out of this. But what's interesting is that Nicky and Teabag, they probably will be doing the 1-stop onto the hard tyres come lap 12. But what they need to do is make sure that they keep Island behind them, because at the moment they are still technically in the net lead with needing to make one more stop, and Island will probably need to make one more stop as well.
Matrice just hit the back of Raz there. I'm just looking at this little cluster that we have here, Gibby. It's absolutely insane the amount of people that are just making moves and trying to send moves on each other just to try and get a bit of space. It's unbelievable. I'm just going to look up the field here to Steffi and Christoph. Steffi has a look but doesn't make a move there. Going further back now to Matrice. Matrice and Raz, these two have been battling all the way through sector 1. And does he hit the back of him again? He does slightly touch him, and again slightly touches him again. Matrice loses the rear end. Now this is going to put Breezy into contention to make a move on Matrice, and he's going to try and make a move on Raz if he can get there. No, he can't, but the Matrice and with Breezy go side by side with Matrice hanging around the outside, and Breezy takes it down the inside, and there isn't that much space there, and he's going to send it down the inside of Raz, and he takes two people in one corner. He took advantage of the contact, and that's worked out beautifully there for him.
Yeah, great move that there from Breezy.
Fantastic move there, getting two people in one corner. Looking further up the field now, Christoph is still trying to close and get Stickman here. There's also Skeefy and Chelsea up ahead, and T-Bag and Nicki Minaj. T-Bag just dropping out of that 1 second zone, and Christoph must have had a really good exit off turn 1 and 2 here, because he's really on the back now with Stickman. Ooh, gotta be careful in that braking zone. People can really just slam on because it can't understeer on that car, but I think this is where Christoph is going to get Stickman. I'm looking at the tyre difference. 9-lap-old tyres on Stickman and 4-lap-old on Christoph. He's now got the DRS and overtake enabled. He's going to go take it down the inside here, and he's going to have that move done way before the line. But the other racing point of Steffi also gets Stickman and tries to send it down the inside of Christoph. Oh, and nearly Steffi loses it there, and Christoph has to back out of it completely. Really nearly sending him off the track there, and now there's three people all battling side by side. What's going on, Skeefy? Skeefy's lost his wing.
Yeah, that was some great teamwork there from the racing points. I think Stickman just backed off and let Steffi go through, and that gave Steffi the opportunity to attack Christoph and ultimately get that position of P5. So good work there between the two racing points.
Really was, really put Christoph under pressure there. I don't think he was expecting the pressure. Skeefy, I'm not too sure what happened to him, losing his front wing. He was in an okay position. I mean, he still was yet to pit as NRC Island clears Chelsea up ahead. So he's cleared one car heading back to the lead. D6W and Stickman. D6W also moves ahead there of Stickman, who now D6W has to clear these two drivers ahead to try and get back into P2. So I think that was that Raz who just retired in the pits, Gibby?
Yeah, he just retired in the pit lane, so obviously had enough of this race. Skeefy, obviously, with the wing damage, he's come in, fit the hard tyres, he'll be able to go on those until the end, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out for him. Obviously, he's on the wheel, so he hasn't got as much pace as he usually would have, but it's been looking okay so far. Obviously, still getting mistakes, but he's getting there slowly but surely.
Indeed, I'm just looking further down between Matrice and Arns. Matrice is trying to get as close as he can to the back of Arns, but unable to do so on this occasion, as Ramos is also looking to try and overtake Stickman as he tries to send it around the outside. He does put his car there, and he gets that move done into 8th position there for ERN Ramos.
Yeah, good move there from Ramos. Again, I think last time out in Canada he had a very impressive race and only managed to pick up, I think it was only like 1 penalty. So it'll be interesting to see whether he does a similar job today and picks up a load of positions like that as Chelsea comes into the pits.
There's the team orders from Ferrari, from NRC Island and T-Bag. Island now moves into P2, and he can now go and hunt down Nicki Minaj. Christoph still really close behind Steffi here in the racing point. And McLaren looking to urge and get past Steffi as quickly as he possibly can, trying to take any line or any movements he can to make Steffi make a mistake here. But now, with DRS down this straight, I think Steffi is going to be a sitting duck with Christoph and D6W behind him. But D6W looks like he could be putting pressure And Christoph is going to go 3 abreast here towards the chicane, and they both get around there. It was a Hakkinen Schumacher moment there, and the McLaren goes through, and the AlphaTauri's coming through on the inside, and the McLaren stays ahead there. But Steffi's going to try and take advantage, but Steffi's gone off the track.
Yeah, it looked like Steffi went into the back of one of the cars and managed to pick up wing damage, so a big shame for them. I think they just outbroke themselves a bit, which is unfortunate.
Darko's gone down the inside of the other racing point here of Stickman. He's gone down the inside and he's got that move done as we head into one of the most strangest corners I know on the F1 calendar. You don't know. You can take it quickly and then brake really late, or you can take it, you can brake a little bit early, you can brake all the way through the corner. It makes no sense, that corner, for me. It might just be me. I mean, I am Division 3, so I don't know as well as people in Division 1 like you, Gibby.
Yeah, it's a very late apex corner, a very long sweeping corner. You can take a lot of different lines into there, but the main thing is just making sure you get a decent exit out there and you take a good line.
Yeah, D6W and R. Christoph, they move now into second and third, and Ireland now with a 10-second gap almost to Christoph. So the battling through the field has not paid off for these two drivers.
Right, it definitely has not.
And I'm looking at the clouds, Gibby, and I'm starting to get worried, and I think I'm going to be sent to the gulag. It's not looking good.
Yeah, it is starting to look a bit darker out there. I mean, no one said anything, so...
Yeah, no one said anything. D6W has moved into P2, and he has got R. Christoph there on the straights. That's really good for himself. Just looking to see if there's any more battles further along. Nicki Minaj currently down in 10th behind Eke Palova. He's got DRS enabled, but he's not going to use any overtake there to get past. He's not in any urgency, I don't think, on that moment. Christoph still trying to see if D6W can make a mistake here and see if he can get past and claim P2 again.
Yeah, and the other thing for Ireland right now is to try and just properly check out, because the likes of, well, I mean, Ireland's still got to pit again, probably for another set of mediums at some point, probably around lap 16, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Be the pit window for that. But obviously, Nikki and Teabag further down on the hard tyres, they don't need to stop against. They might be able to get some sort of an undercut on Ireland, seeing as they were around where Ireland was on track. So Ireland's got to make this clean air last. As I say that, Nikki is actually in fact stuck behind Eke Palova at the minute, so probably losing a little bit of time here at this point in the race, which is not what they were going to want.
It's a risky strategy, but we saw it pay off yesterday with Mr. ERN Speedy. He went on the softs, and then he went onto the hard compound tyres and ended up finishing in 4th, I think it is. I mean, I know it was a whole mess yesterday due to Codemasters' glitches and bugs that it has. But as far as I know, he crossed the line in 4th, but he probably could get 3rd. I'm not 100%, I can't remember. Like I say, I have memory like a goldfish. So, but he went for the hards, and it really worked out for him.
Just see Christoph now coming back past D6W there.
And Ramos is getting involved. Ramos is now getting involved here, and Ramos has overtook D6W. So that's put D6W in a worse position here. With Christoph contending with the DRS, Ramos has been waiting for his moment, and that's the moment he needed, and now has got 3rd place.
Yeah, so this is the battle for the podium positions here between these guys. But the likes of... it was just unfortunate there for D6. Didn't seem to get the best exit coming out of the corner. And that left it open for Ramos, as Ramos is now right on the back of Christoph. See if they can get a good exit out of this corner, which they have.
This guy's
Should
using
be seeing a
overtake.
move here down into turn 1.
And DRS is now going to go for the inside. I don't know if it's just me, Gibby, but it looks like smoke is pouring from that Renault engine. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like there's engine issues coming from both of those cars. Oh, as Christoph goes wide, D6W takes that, and he claims back P3. Christoph making a mistake there, and it's really affected him there, and that puts him outside the podium places.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. Just saw the rear end step out on that McLaren, so unfortunate for him losing the position there. I think he just needs to stay calm and stay in this DRS train here and let the tyres cool and come back into it a little bit later on.
We'll see how D6W does here. He's going to try and close the gap here to Ramos. DRS is going to be hugely effective here, as Ramos will not have it due to the 11-second gap between him and Ireland. Ireland leading very comfortably there, and Nicki
Nicki
Minaj
Minaj,
is
yeah.
looking here at Eke Belova, and he's got that move done, and that's another retirement too there from Stickman retiring in the pits, and Nicki Minaj has finally cleared Eke Belova and can now try and storm his way back through the field. Just looking.
So
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just looking at this this fight between Nikki and Eke, but the battle between Nikki and Teabag, Nikki's managed to put a good gap between themselves and Teabag, so it's going to be hard for him to catch back up and maybe challenge for what could potentially be a podium position at this point in the race.
Yeah. It could be, especially with the one stop. He knows that everybody ahead of him has to pit again, as Eke Belova does now pit off those medium compound tires, so he is the first one to go on a fresh set. Just looking ahead here, this battle still for second position. Ramos, D6W and Christoph all close together, and they will be looking to try and make any sort of move down the DRS straight, and it could come off good, it could come off bad, we could see contact, we might not, and it could really pay off for people behind if something happens here. Oh, D6W is already going for it on Ramos. D6W has already got that move done. I'm going to have a look quick on board here with Christoph, and he is nowhere near close enough to make a move there, so that's unfortunate for Christoph.
Yeah, I mean, but the important thing that Christoph has is that they're still inside that DRS range, and they can just bide their time and get that ERS back and settle back into this race. And in fact, they might even decide to come in and pit this lap. I think I would if I was in this situation and get the undercut on the two guys in front who are on slightly fresher tyres than him. So maybe if he pits now, gets the undercut, gets the clean air, might be able to ditch these two and solidify that podium position.
We shall see. We are heading up to the pit lane now, and to be honest with you, I think that's an actual good idea, because he knows that everybody's got, as long as he comes out in front of Nicki Minaj, he will be fine, but he hasn't decided to pit, which is his choice to make, so it'll be interesting to see if he just follows somebody else's darker way, goes to pit and gets a 5-second time penalty for his troubles for speeding in the pit lane. As I'm just looking at Ramos, I don't think he's close enough to make a move on this occasion into turn 1. So this is now going to put Nicki Minaj into P6. With the rest of the field ahead having to pit, this is really working out at the moment for Nicki Minaj, but we know that they will be slower at the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment Nicki has probably got a net P2 on track, but it'll be interesting to see with these two stoppers how the second set of mediums, or maybe even if they stretch it out and go for a second set of softs, how they come back through the field. Because if Nicki can use this clean air that they have now just to sort of stretch that gap, so they have enough, enough leeway to defend, then I think this could be promising for them.
I mean, he does have a 2.6 second gap to his closest rival of Teabag, who is also on the same amount of hards, and Chelsea is 4.5 seconds behind Teabag themselves. So those hard runners are split, and that could really throw some medium contentions in between those runners too.
Yeah, and it's always the difficult thing when you're opting to do the two stoppers, just getting back through the field. I mean, we're looking further back, looking at Darko.
Oh, D6W goes very wide as he tries to pit, and D6W nearly had to go off the tracks and then to come back on the line, and D6W, Ramos and Christoph all pit at the same time there.
Yeah, so those guys deciding to keep the battle completely on track, not going for any undercuts or anything, as Arndt now adopts P2. But it'll be interesting the gap to look at, I think, realistically, is to see how quickly Darko on the fresh mediums is starting to catch up to Chelsea on those hard tyres. That's the one to look at to see how quickly these tyres actually work.
Let's see, where does D6W come out? Here comes Darko coming down the field. Is he going to get ahead of our Christoph as they challenge into turn 1? And Christoph has to go around the outside, and Darko Wayne has got ahead of Christoph, and that's going to hurt Christoph's chances of trying to keep with Ramos and D6W. And Breezy's now making the move on him too. He's lost 2 positions coming out of the pit lane, and that's really hampered him there.
Yeah, so Christoph's lost out massively there. Unfortunately, only barely as well, coming out right behind Ramos. It just shows how close that really is when coming out of the pits, and how important it is to try and get that clean air in that space. because now he's probably lost the chance of getting that podium unless he can find the pace to claw it back through.
Yeah,
But he looked similar to D6 and Ramos, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Ireland has stayed out for another lap. He's not pitting. I'm going to see, just going to go on board now with NRC Arns. Let's see what he does here. Let's see if he pits. Because if he pits, that's going to put Nicki Minaj into P2. And nope, he hasn't pitted as of yet. We'll have to find out and see when he's going to be doing that. Looking at Breezy though, Breezy and Dark Away, really, that is an undercut that them two have done, and it's paid off beautifully for them.
Yeah, it's worked out very well for them, and I think it's only a one-lap undercut as well, so it's made a huge difference for their race. But the likes of Arntz and Ireland, who are further out in front, I have a sneaky suspicion that these guys are going to go on for the soft tyres towards the end, because you've only got about 8 laps left in this race.
Yeah.
If they can extend those mediums a little bit longer, they could easily go on to the soft tyres, and I think Ireland especially, it's definitely got the gap to have that pit stop and still come out, you know, around the lead, because he's always building that gap by the looks of things.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, Ireland is in his own world here today, and I'm just looking at D6W and Ramos, who are now behind the first of the hard runners here, Gibby, of Chelsea, and D6W is going to try and make a move. This is for position, and D6W is going down on the outside line. Ramos, this could give D6W a bit of breathing space between him and Ramos right now.
Yeah, it's important to clear this traffic while you can. The other thing that's important is also that Ramos and D6 don't get caught up too much, because if they spend all their time stuck behind these other hard runners, they might not catch Nicky for what I think is going to be a net P2.
Ramos is going to make a move down the inside on the right hand corner. Here he goes. He's trying to make this move, and he does make that move. Ramos clears Chelsea at the next available opportunity, and now is still behind D6W and within that second, so he's lost 0 time there. Looking ahead,
Yeah.
Odds and Ireland still yet to pit. Ireland, look how far Ireland is. Ireland 20 seconds ahead of Arns, but yet to pit for his second set of tyres. But neither as Arns. Arns still needs to pit too. Got a bit of a train now behind Darker Wade too, and Darker Wade is getting very close to the back of Chelsea on the hard compound tyres. It's a 3.9 second gap too between D6W and T-Bag. So that gap, I imagine, is going to be closing at a very rapid rate. But with Ramos behind him, Gibby, and this DRS, and with D6W not having DRS, the fight in between these two could really hamper them.
Yeah, I think these two will probably be fairly smart about it, though. I don't think they'll hold each other up too much, and I think they will go for just getting the positions at this point.
Here goes Darko Wade and Chelsea.
Right at the end.
Darko Wade goes down the inside. Chelsea does a switch back, and Chelsea tries to fight back and get a better exit here. Chelsea does get a better exit, in fact, and is already fighting Darko Wade back now towards the fast right-hander of turn 10. And here they go now. Oh, and I think Chelsea just lifted off the brakes, lifted off the throttle there, and didn't want to take that into that corner with Darko Wade.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of a smarter move there, being on the
It was his
tyres.
teammate of Breezy. Breezy sent it down the inside, and Breezy has got ahead there at Chelsea, but I think that might have been a little bit of team orders there from the Mercedes boys.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Breezy's on the much fresher tyres, so might as well let him go and attack while he can, as we see NRC Arns pull into the pits, going for the soft tyres, same as Ireland, so it's just as we thought. As we just see Christoph as well go around the outside of Chelsea there in the final corner. So, very unorthodox overtaking position, but they managed to get it done, so impressive stuff there.
Indeed, indeed. Ramos and D6W now in 4th and 5th, 3 seconds behind 3rd position. This is all now for position, and D6W and Ramos, if they can get past TBAG, they've got a bit of work to do to get past Nicky. A bit of a gap there, but Ireland, I am pretty sure now, has this one in the bag. On the fresher compound tyres, Nicky is definitely not going to be catching up on the hards.
Yeah, and I don't think I've even seen Ireland picking up penalties either, so I don't think that's even going to come into it.
Here goes Breezy on Ramos. Breezy's going to send it down the inside. Oh, it wasn't Ramos, sorry, it was Darker Wade. Made a mistake there, sorry about that, but he goes to make the move and just Darker Wade cuts across him and doesn't let that happen.
Yeah, just looking on board with Darko, they've got the yellow fuel light on and they've got no ERS, so it looks like they've got absolutely nothing to defend with. So it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to keep Breezy behind us. Breezy opts for the outside through sweeping, I think that's turn 13. I'm not too sure.
And they're still going through now into turn 14, side by side. Look how close they are. No contact was made either. Beautiful spatial awareness for both of them, and they're still side by side now, heading towards the second to last corner, battling it out side by side and wanting every part they can here. And Darko, they made contact. They made contact there. Darko comes off the track, and so does Breezy. And now that's going to give our Christoph 6th place here, and now they're still side by side, the Mercedes and the Sauber, and the Mercedes tucks in behind Darko Wade there.
Yes, unfortunate there for those two, both losing out to Christoph as Breezy gets another great exit out of turn 2 and then opts to go down the inside and turn 3, cut in the corner. Oh, but Darko manages to hold it around the outside once again.
Did I see a bit of wing damage fly off Breezy there? I don't think he's got it.
I don't think so. I think he's okay, but I reckon this will be fairly straightforward down the straight now, as Darko's not got a lot to defend with, whereas Breezy's got everything in the world, but Breezy's not using it, whereas Darko is, so he's not able to capitalise on that.
Don't know what's going on here. It's absolute pandemonium here in Division 2.
It is.
Why is David disqualified? David is disqualified due to Codemaster's glitch, where it now just refuses you to lift the clutch and start. It just doesn't do it anymore. So that's a new glitch in this game, which is always fantastic. Breezy trying to make the move now on Darko Wade once again. This is where we saw them go side by side last lap, and Breezy saw a little bit of a gap there to try and send it in, and he hasn't been able to stick it as he tries to stick it around the outside. He is alongside there on his back wheel, but isn't going to have an opportunity to make the move as Island sets the fastest lap of this race. And I'm looking on board now, just a bit further up. Ramos is still behind D6W. They're trying to close the gap. They've got the gap down now to 1.4 seconds between him and T-Bag, but there's then a 5-second gap to T-Bag and Nicki Minaj, which is a huge one. And Darko Wade and Breezy, they're battling again, and Breezy has another fantastic exit, and Breezy is going to make a move here once again into turn 3. Is he able to stick it out this time? Darko takes it around the outside. Breezy now on the inside line to go into turn 6, and now they're going in there. They're very slow. Second gear corner there, and they aren't able to make a move on that occasion, but Breezy will have DRS going down this main straight, and here he goes. DRS, he's not using any overtakers. Darko Wade isn't using any because he hasn't got any left. Oh, has to come off the throttle there as Darko cuts ahead as he saw a gap, and that gap wasn't available anymore as Arntz behind him has made the move on the teammate of the Mercedes in Chelsea and has got that move done, and Arntz will be looking to try and seize on this battle to clean these two out of the way.
Yeah, Breezy just really struggling here to get past Darko. In fact, Darko's on 0%. He's got absolutely nothing in that battery whatsoever. So, and the other thing is also, by these two battling, they've put themselves in prime position for Arntz to get past them on those fresh soft tyres.
Ooh, big mistake there by Breezy. Big mistake there by Breezy. Breezy has a big oversteer, and Arntz is already trying to have a look and try and get past. I'm going to quickly go up ahead here to Ramos and D6W, who are both now in position to take T-Bag away from his podium place. We're going back now to Breezy, and Breezy is still ahead of Arntz, but is desperately putting pressure on the Darko Wade to try and get past.
Yeah, it's not gone well for Breezy in his last couple of laps with Darko. Even though like Christoph has almost gapped them by 3 seconds by getting past, just showing how much time he's lost by not managing to get this move done on Darko. So, but he's looking like he's getting a good exit off the corner now. He'll have the DRS. I wonder whether he'll be able to challenge going into turn 8 and 9.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know D6W is gaining hugely on T-Bag there on the hard compound tyres. I don't think Breezy is going to be able to make a move here going into the chicane. Just looking further up of D6W and T-Bag, and D6W trying to clear T-Bag as quickly as possible. Is T-Bag going to defend? He is going to defend, and D6W takes that around the outside here, and here comes Ramos trying to challenge back on T-Bag to try and get past too, to make sure he stays close to D6W. Is a move going to be made here? No, it's not, and this could give a bit of breathing space here for D6W. Going back to Breezy now. Breezy's still close behind Darko Wade here and is trying to make a move around the outside, but nothing able to be made there. I imagine this is where Ramos is definitely going to get teabag. Teabag now with DRS comes to the inside line, and there goes Ramos around the outside line. And Ramos has used a lot of overtake on that lap, that he used that much that it actually took away his energy for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, I mean, he can afford to. He's got 41%. In fact, he's got a lot more than what D6 does in front on 14. So maybe we'll be able to see Ramos put a bit of pressure on D6 these final couple of laps.
Indeed, indeed. I'll tell you what though, Nicki Minaj just drove a fantastic race. That was one of my predictions for driver of the day too, Gibby. So
I was gonna say.
Make sure you get your lottery. Make sure you get your lottery numbers in here today. Make sure you come and message me on Discord. It'll be all good. I'll make sure you get that million jackpot here today. But Ramos, look how close he is to D6W. 3/10 now behind D6W. These two are battling for the final podium place, and Breezy's still unable to make a move past Darker Wade. But the big shock here is Arndt's not trying to make any move on Breezy to get past him as soon as possible.
Yeah. The other thing to mention also is
here goes Breezy again. Breezy's going around the outside in the slow right-hander. He's going to go around the outside. This is where they've battled on multiple occasions, and Breezy now has the inside line going into here. Can he make it done as they're squeezing through? And Breezy does get ahead there, but Darko Wade is coming back at him. And once again, going into the second to last corner, these two have been battling this entire last section of this race. And Darko once again has the inside line, and once again stays ahead of Breezy, and they're side by side. And now Arndt is going to be looking to get involved in. Arndt is going around the outside now of Darko Wade, heading into turn one, and Darko Wade drops 2 positions there in that sector.
Yeah, impressive stuff there. I think if you noticed during that battle, NRC Island in fact actually left the session, so our leader has actually disconnected with an 8-second gap in front. I have dropped them an invite back, so hopefully they'll be able to get back in. Yeah.
That's all good to see. That's good to see. At least he's back in the car. Hopefully he doesn't have that frame glitch, which Codemasters like to give people. I've not had it yet myself.
It should have been patched. Should have been patched today.
Oh, here comes Arndt up
apparently
Breezy.
They fixed it.
Arndt is going around the outside of Breezy, and Arndt gets that move done. He takes both of them here on the same lap, so he finally clears them two and gets them out of the way. But is Breezy going to try and come back at him? I know he was still close, but he's also got, and now nearly a 1-second gap to Darko Wade, so it really shows how much he was being hampered there.
Yeah. It's a shame for Breezy losing out, because it could have been, I reckon maybe P6, I think at most. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be P8 come the end of the race, but we're not sure. Have to wait until penalties and everything settle in.
So
but, yeah, definitely lost a lot of time there.
We are now on the final lap. D6W and Ramos. Ramos has to give it absolutely everything now to get past D6W to claim that final podium position. I'm just looking further down. Breezy is really on the back of Arndt. Is Breezy going to make a move here? No, he doesn't. I thought that always gets a 3-second time penalty for his troubles there. Going a little bit too much over the curb. But I'm looking at T-Bag too. He's kept really nice here with D6W and Ramos, and has the podium place look right in front of him. So if there's any penalties that these two have picked up, it could really help him here if he hasn't got any.
Yeah, other one to look at is Matrice is all over the back of Darko Wade now in the battle for P9 on the last lap. And Matrice is going to give it absolutely everything here. He's got great closing speed. Looks like he's going to get the move done going into turn 8.
He's got that.
He gets that done, no worries.
Yep, he's got that way before the corner. Is Darko going to try and come back? No, he doesn't. Oh, as he hits the back of Matrice there, going into the second part of that section. And that could have ended costly for Darko there if he damaged his wing.
Yep. That could have ended badly, but luckily it didn't. As you just see Arndt and Breezy going side by side into turn 11 again. Arndt's really holding on for dear life now for this P7.
Here comes Island across the line. NRC Island takes P1 here at the Circuit Paul Ricard with Nicki Minaj with a fantastic P2 coming across the line. Brilliant points there for Red Bull. D6W and Ramos coming 3rd and 4th, and D6W jumps Ramos. He jumps Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj falls down to 4th, so D6W and Ramos both get 2nd and 3rd. Nicki in 4th, Christoph in 5th. Art in 6th, Teabag in 7th, Breezy in 8th, Darko in 9th, and Matrice in 10th. So Nicky must have had a big section and a big clump of penalties there.
Yeah, must have. That's a huge loss for them, and it's got to be so annoying getting dumped off the podium like that. But nevertheless, a very good race from them, and still some good points with P4.
Indeed, as we see a yellow flag down there, and I think that's Steffi who's just doing donuts. That's Steffi doing donuts for us here at the circuit Paul Ricard. You got to be careful you don't get disqualified, because if you keep stuck there for too long, you'll definitely will, and that's definitely going to be a corner cut penalty for you, good sir. But that wraps it up here for the French Grand Prix here in Division 2. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we said at the start, this track is very boring, but Div 2 never fails to deliver good racing, and we got that today.
So Div 2, boring track, eh? We'll see about that. That's every time. They always like to put on a show for us. No matter what, they will send it absolutely everywhere. Nicki Minaj saying P4, and Nicki Minaj well-deservedly getting driver of the day by the game, and definitely my prediction came true, and I think he should be definitely driver of the day there.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that one.
I think he was definitely very unlucky, though, to have those penalties to drop him down to P4. Could have had P2 going across the line, which is unfortunate. But Ireland there on the top step of the podium in the Scuderia Ferrari, with the AlphaTauri of D6W and the Renault of Ramos alongside him, taking up them podium positions. What a race we have had here for Division 2. What a race. Let's have a quick look. Let's see here. So let's give you the rundown. So Ireland going from pole to first there. He was the only man, by the looks of it, not to pick a penalty up, as far as I can see. Let's have a quick look. Nope, Skeefy was the other man not to pick a penalty up. But that, looking down, it shows how difficult this track can be with track limits. Looking. Go ahead. You were about to say something.
I was about to say something, but I've forgotten again.
Nicky going from 12th to 4th, which is a really good result for himself there. I mean, how many penalties did he have? 12 seconds, and the other two only had 3, so yeah, that's a big shame. A 9-second gap there. 9 seconds of penalties cost him the podium place of second there, which is a big shame for him, a really big shame. Do you want to do an interview, Gibby?
I suppose we could.
I mean,
who do you want to get in?
Who are you thinking? I do have to invite them, by the way, because I can't.
I think it'd be good to speak to Ireland if he's available. I'll try dropping him an invite. Just because he drove an incredible race, just no faults, so I think he deserves an interview for that. See if we can get him in there quickly.
You have to let me know when he joins, because I can't see.
I will let you know. I found that out when doing the stream last week, that you can't see when people join. I'm not sure if he'll be able for an interview, but anyway.
I just quickly asked him in the Discord to see if he'll come in, but we shall see. We tried to do it yesterday. New invite, he's asking. Ireland.
God. You ask so much of me.
Listen, we gotta do it right. We gotta do it right, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Here he is. NRC.
There we go.
How are you doing today, buddy? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. A very comfortable win for you there. I think it was a 20-second gap you had before you pitted for the second set of softs. Let me just get your initial thoughts of that race so far.
Yeah, I found that I have a really good pace around here, so I think that's the key to success, I guess.
Yeah, pole position all the way to the race win. I think you took pole position. I think it was by, was it 0.3 of a second or 0.5 of a second? One of those.
I think it was 2 something.
Or was it 2?
It was 2 in the end, yeah.
I have a memory like a goldfish, so you have to excuse me. But we saw plenty of battles up throughout the field. But for you, it must have been a simple but a little bit boring race.
Yeah, kinda, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely got to enjoy winning. There's no other way of. You can't be disappointed when you cross the line in first. Any questions from you, Gibby?
How are you so quick? You seem to have Div 2 on ropes at the minute with your pace. I mean, you've had incredible pace in the last couple of races. Is there anything you're doing just to practice to get quicker than these guys, or do you not give away your secrets?
Yeah, a lot of practice.
Just a lot of practice.
Are you on
Yeah.
wheel or pad? I don't. That's one thing.
I'm
I
on
actually
a
don't
pad,
know. You're
yeah.
on pad. Oh, okay.
So people say that I'm cheating, but yeah.
Well, if
But
if you're cheating, then Bruno Will is definitely cheating.
Yeah, he's cheating.
Island.
He has aimbot on the Apex.
That's a new development here, ladies and gentlemen, that we have found out here in Division 2. But Island, thank you very much for coming in. We do appreciate it. Congratulations again on your race win, and we look forward to seeing you out in Austria. Thank you very much for coming in, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up here for Division 2 for European Race Night. I've been Dame Zero, your lead commentator. Alongside me, once again, thank you very much, Mr. ERN Gibby.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
As always. I mean, we finally get to be on each other.
It's been nice to be back together,
Yes,
hasn't it?
exactly.
For so long.
Took the words out of my mouth. We've got Austria next, which I'm really, really looking forward to. That's going to be... if we see overtaking here in France, Gibby, imagine what we're going to see there next week.
Yeah, I mean, Austria's a fantastic track for overtaking, and it's an incredibly short lap around here, so it should be hot, fast pace action, and especially with Div 2 racing, there's always going to be plenty of on-track action.
Indeed, indeed. But we'll catch you all then next time for Division 2. It's Division 3 tomorrow, same time at 7:30 for the last French Grand Prix, and then on to Austria next week. We'll see you all there. Bye-bye.